All right, you guys, consecutive integers. So first of all, integers are like all the negatives and all the positives, but no fractions, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and -1, -2, -3, -4, right? Those are integers. Consecutive means right in a row. So like 1, 2, 3 are consecutive. -4, -5, -6 are consecutive, all right? So we're trying to find consecutive integers. So you will first label, or you don't have to make this chart exactly. Like what I usually do is I just write out n, comma, n plus 1, I don't know why it's switching colors, comma, n plus 2. That would be 3. Sometimes there's 4, okay? That would be n plus 3. So we start with a number, and then the next number is 1 bigger, and the next number is 2 bigger, and the next number is 3 bigger, right? So that's how consecutive integers work. All right? So it says find 3 consecutive integers. So it's, as soon as it says that, I just write this down like at the top of my problem, all right? And this is the first integer, this is the second integer, this is the third integer. I honestly don't write that down usually because I just know in my head, okay? It goes first, second, third, all right? Such that the sum of the first and the third is 142. So the sum of the first and the third, what should we write for the sum of the first and the third? Bishnu? Yes, you don't need parentheses when you're adding, so you could just put n plus 2. Okay, so all I'm taking is I'm adding the first one, that's this one, sum, so I'm adding it to the third one, okay? And then it says is. What does is mean? All right, equals 142, and now we just solved this one. So n plus n is 2n. All right, then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. We get 140, and then divide by 2, and n is equal to 70. All right, Miss LeBlanc used to make everyone do this lovely chart thing, okay? I don't think you need to do that, so you'd have to draw that every single time to write your answers. What we need to do is remember that that n that I just got is the first answer, and I need 3 consecutive numbers. So all you need to do is 70, 71, 72. Okay, you don't have to write the chart. Okay, that's the first, second, and third number. All right, so just write 70, 71, 72. So after you get your answer, go back and look. Do I need 3 numbers, 4 numbers, and add 1? Okay, I need 3 numbers. So 70, 71, 72. All right, find 4 consecutive integers. So as soon as I see 4 consecutive integers, just so I can look at which is which, I do n, comma, n plus 1, comma, n plus 2, comma, n plus 3. All right, so that's the first, second, third, fourth number right there. So I just look at which one I have. If you need to write a 1, 2, 3, 4 above it, if that helps you, do it, okay? Such that 8 times the sum of the first and the third. All right, so we need to figure out how to write 8 times the sum. So if you guys do 8 times the sum, what do I need? We need parentheses, exactly. 8 times the sum of the next 2 things. The sum of the first and the third. Which one is the first? N plus, which one is the third? N plus 2 is the third. All right, and then we have is, yep, there's our equal sign. 40 greater than 10 times the fourth. Now, I always do the 40 greater than or the 40 less than second, okay? Remember, less than has to go second. Like, you have to put your minus 40, if that's what it said, after the next part. So the 40 greater than, I'm going to put after this, 10 times the fourth. All right, so how do I do 10 times the fourth? Good. Okay, that's 10 times the fourth number, which is n plus 3. All right, and then the plus 40 has to go after that. So it's 40 greater than 10 times the fourth. Again, I would not do this big chart thing. That takes up a lot of space, okay? At the end, we'll just, whoa, is everyone okay? All right, now let's solve. Okay, so n plus n, you guys, n plus n is 2n. Then I'm going to distribute the 8 to both of these. So that gives me 16n plus 16. And over here, we're going to distribute this 10n plus 30. And then I have that plus 40. All right, I'm going to get all my n's on one side. So I'm going to subtract 10n. So I have 6n over here. I'm also going to subtract 16, so all my numbers are over on the right-hand side. So 30 plus 40 is 70, and then 70 minus 16 is 54. Okay, and then we're going to divide by 6, and we get 9. All right, and then you go back and you're like, how many consecutive integers did I need? A lot of people actually just, they forget. They stop right here and they're like, I'm done. All right, but you're not. These are consecutive integer problems, and we needed 4 of them. So my answer is 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. All right, find 4 consecutive integers such that 6 times the sum of the first and the fourth is 26 less than 10 times the third. All right, how many integers do we need? 4. So I would at first write this down, and it really does help you guys to list them out. You can visualize better which number is which. So that's why I always write them out. All right. Find 4 consecutive integers such that 6 times the sum. So if I'm doing 6 times the sum, what do I need? Parentheses. Yep. Anytime you're doing 6 times a sum, you need parentheses because it's the sum of the first and the fourth. Which one's the first? Which one's the fourth? Okay. And then is 26 less than 10 times the third. Super important that you put the 26 less than after. It means minus 26, and it comes after 10 times the third. So 10 times the third is n plus 2. And then 26 less than. All right, so we do minus 26. And you guys probably don't need to watch me solve this. You guys probably good, right? Solve it, and then get all 4 answers, right? This one had 4 integers, so you get your answer and solve. All right, let's try some whiteboards and see how